Hi everyone, I'm Christina and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about 7 ways you can reclaim power from this book right here. Feel the fear and do it anyway. I got this book because someone suggested it to me, suggested that I read it, and I have to say that it actually did magical things for me. I had a bunch of other books and stuff that I was reading as well, but in combination with also this book here, I haven't even finished the book and it just changed my life. Like years ago I read it and I read bits of it again recently and I was just like, wow, this is something that I feel like I should share so people can go and then decide whether they want to read this book or not. Now, I have been talking to many people in this life about people basically getting comfortable and just chilling in the what I would call the victim mentality. And what that means is that something's always happening to you. There's always an issue that it's not your fault, it always happened to you. At the end of the day, I want to help people get past that because honestly, I'm still slightly in there sometimes because some things you just can't let go of it takes time to get over every single bit of thing that you feel a victim to and stay trying to be a victim to. But there's lots of things where I just fully take responsibility and I'm just like, yeah, okay, damn, like I chose that situation. The choice was mine. A lot of things are your choice. So yes, so step number one is to basically avoid blaming others or just external forces being the reason why you may be miserable or this or that or your life's not going the way you want it to. So nothing outside your being can control your thoughts or your actions, and your thoughts and your actions are what make you make choices, and those are the choices that put you either in a miserable place or a happy place or this place, or like, yeah. Literally, if you just keep blaming others and you feel like everyone else's fault, then you're not taking responsibility, you're not taking charge of your life, and nobody can get in there and control what you think. Yes, obviously, a lot of us have spent our lives being brainwashed to basically think we need to wear makeup, or we need to, as I haven't recently been doing, shave your armpits, or you have to have a man, or for guys I guess you have to be manly, or you can't cry, certain basic things that have been we've been brainwashed by. But as an adult, and as an adult in this century where we have the internet, we have all this information that is free to us, there is no reason why you can't basically go out, ask the questions you need to ask, be curious, figure out things, remove the brainwashing from you, and just get on with your life and choose the life that you want, that's going to make you happy. So that's how I feel about the first one. Basically, avoid blaming others. And it's hard at first. I swear to God, it's hard at first. But eventually you'll get to a point where you'll start noticing every single time. It might start off where you're noticing it and then you're still doing it and you're like, damn, I shouldn't have done that, like moments afterwards or like a night afterwards. But there'd be times where like I'm at a point where I'll think it, but I may not say it. Sometimes it does just come out because something I'm still emotionally attached to, and I'm like, that's your fault, you did that, that's you, blah blah blah, blah. So yeah, you are in control of what goes on up in here and what is in this body and what this body feels and thinks. Obviously there's some situations where it's not the case, where there's serious abuse or brainwashing and stuff like that, and it takes a lot of work to get past that victim mentality. However, once you become aware of it, I guess watching this video as well will make you become aware of it. Then simple as you start working from there, you start building up your foundation for your house. So number 2, this one is something that I discovered through basically changing my relationship with food. So avoid blaming yourself for things that are not in your control. I think a lot of times we feel like we should beat ourselves up because we did something wrong. I'm going to give the example of when I used to eat sugar, and I constantly would be like, you're so bad, you're so bad, you're so bad. And I think I have made like an analogy or a metaphor in a video, I don't know what the word is, and it's basically, your brain is like your dog or your little puppy or like your little baby, and you have to train that more like a puppy, and you have to train that puppy. And if you train a puppy and you're constantly beating it or telling it's bad or saying, basically shouting at it, you're damaging that puppy. You're making that puppy go into a way to behave when certain things happen, and it's not healthy for you, nor is it healthy for anybody. And you are personally doing the best you can, you know, in your current situation, with your current awareness, with your current status in life. And once you become aware and you start thinking, I shouldn't be beating myself up, this is not right, you start working on it, then you start to do even better, and you start to realize that you can support yourself through bad decisions or not so great decisions I say that in the sense of decisions you rather choose otherwise, but you still chose that option. So yeah, you are doing your best and you are on your way to reclaiming your power. Not all of us have power, like serious power over ourselves, over our world straight away. You have to learn and gain that power and work with yourself, not overpower yourself and say you're bad and treat yourself like crap. Just be nice to yourself and support yourself. Think about, like, I don't know, if you had a loved one or a football team even, and you're basically like the cheerleader or the supportive wife or the supportive husband, and you really just want to really support them. Now just turn that on yourself. Really support yourself, really love and just cheer yourself on, because you are doing your best and you are on the way to reclaiming your power. Number 3, be aware of when you are playing the victim role. So when it comes to this one, this can be difficult at times because a lot of us are fighting against ourselves, fighting against our minds, fighting against everything, and nothing's our fault. We don't want to take responsibility. We just want to be the good guy. We want everyone to feel sorry for us. We want everyone to comfort us and love us and just basically treat us well and please everyone. And it's just a lot of things that we want to not feel bad about, basically. Most of the time the victim role comes in when, for example, something you feel is bad, or like you're gonna get told off for something. You just have to really step back and take a moment to kind of just look at what you're doing in life, look at how you're thinking, really just, I know this sounds a bit weird, and I think I've said this before as well. I say a lot of things before, but it will come from probably this book. Put yourself as multiple people. You've got the victim, the little baby over here. You've got your brain and basically the person you want to support, but you keep beating them up. Then you've got yourself. You've probably got a bunch of others, but let's just keep it like that for now. You as yourself are watching the brain. You're watching the one that is over there basically playing the victim, and they're teaming up and they're like, yeah, we're the victim, we're the ones you feel sorry for, we done nothing wrong, blah blah blah. You need to just, normally you're teamed up with them as well, but now you have to separate yourself from them. You need to back up a bit and just try and see the bigger picture. Like, they're over there, you're over here. Just look at them and say, okay, you're still part of the team. However, you're looking at them to see what they're doing and just being silent and just watching and making sure you understand what's going on. So you're going to take notice of things like when you're playing the victim, when you're blaming others, when you're doing things that just put you in a position to end up blaming others or feeling bad for yourself or feeling sorry for yourself and stuff like that. And eventually you get to a point in your life, I think it took me quite a few years to get to this point I am now, where you really start to see it a lot. And you backstep a lot, because sometimes you let it out, sometimes you have to hold it back. And you do it, as long as you work on it and you just be aware at the beginning, eventually you'll get onto the next steps which are coming up. So be aware of playing the victim role. Number 4. In number 2, I think it was, I said basically about being a supportive wife or husband to your brain, or being a cheerleader. This one is basically familiarize yourself with the enemy, and that is the voice inside your head. Now, at the beginning, you're going to think that your voice is your enemy. However, over time, you're going to realize that that's not the case anymore, because you're going to switch things up and you're going to make your brain and that voice inside your head the best friend you've ever had in your entire life. Like, I kid you not, I am my biggest supporter. I promise you that. I love so much to just say to myself, whenever I'm feeling low, I'm just like, no, Chris, come on, pick yourself up, stop that. And it's even got to a point now where I've also got external people who help me with that as well, because we're kind of in the same place. Like, I help them sometimes, they help me. Like, if I forget myself and I get into that place of, oh, the world's gonna, I'm useless, or I'm this, I'm that. I'm letting the voice speak rather than just basically holding it back and saying, no, stop that. You're great, you're amazing. You basically have people as well to kind of combat that as well, because they're in the same place as you, they're in the same mindset as you. However, obviously, you need to work with your voice in your head, and in order to do that, you need it to become your best friend. You need it to be on your team. As in my case, you need her to be on your team, and you have to be loving and supportive of each other, because at the end of the day, you have to live with yourself. And if you don't love the voice, if you don't love the you inside, then they're going to be your enemy. They're going to hate you. They're going to want to freaking wreck your life and be self-destructive, and that's going to affect you on the external. Becoming BFFs with your voice inside your head is basically like, you know, when they talk about affirmations. So, for example, I feel underconfident about a test I'm going to do, and I'm start having thoughts of, oh my god, I'm going to fail. Oh my god, this is the end of my life. Oh my god, what am I going to do if this and this and this? But what you do is you work on ways with your voice in your head to just turn that around, and it slowly becomes a thing where you don't say those things. You may say them for a split second, but then it becomes a thing like, no, I'm gonna smash this, or I'm intelligent enough to pass this, or I'm an amazing person, I can get that guy. Or, do you know what I mean? Like, you start having those thoughts rather than, nobody's gonna want to be with me, nobody's gonna want to love me, I'm gonna be alone forever. And as well, when people start saying those things to you just to hurt your feelings or whatever, because your voice is so confident and so like, no, we are amazing, stop. Those words don't get into your barrier. Like, those words don't phase you. It gives you it gives you your power, it gives you lots of strength. Number 5, figure out things that make you feel stuck. For many years I felt stuck. When I got sick, I got cancer, I was bedridden for years. I'm still to the point where I'm mostly in my bed. The difference between then and now is that basically I felt stuck. I felt like this is the end of my life, this is it, I'm just going to be in bed all the time, I can't do anything, I can't be anybody. And then compared to now, this is a 4-year time frame, is that then I basically took time to see where I was stuck and where I was having issues and where things felt like I was trapped or like I couldn't do anything. And I turned them around, and I basically formed them into things that I felt like, yeah, I can do things. I can do things like this, make videos. I can do things on my good days, or I can sit on my computer and do work, or I can still have friends. I just take medicine or go on my good days or get them to come to me. Do you know what I mean? It's like you figure out your new life. You just it's about accepting. It's basically about accepting what is happening, understanding it for what it is, thinking, am I stuck? Do I feel stuck? Do I feel like I'm being complacent? Am I too comfortable? And a lot of people do feel that way. They just stay in that position. They're like, okay, I'm nice. I've got a nice job. I got this. I got money. I may not love this job, but it's paying the bills, kind of thing. I would love to do something, so etc., etc., A and B, but I'm cool here where I am. And then eventually you get miserable and you feel stuck because you were there for too long and you were complacent and you were just like, you accepted being in that spot. But you don't have to accept being in that spot, or whatever misfortune or whatever illnesses you have. You don't have to be stuck there. You can still get out of that place and be somebody and do something that you want to do and not feel stuck anymore. And I don't feel stuck. There's a few things little that I'm just like, I feel like sometimes I'm like, oh. But then I know I'm working out of it. And before I wasn't working out of it. I was just like, life hates me, it's so unfair. So just work on your things, work on getting out of that ditch. Start digging and get out of there. Don't just sit there and give up on life. So yeah, let me give you an example from the book so it explains it a bit more. Basically, there's a woman called Jean and she's stuck at her job and she desperately wants to get out. She sees herself as a victim and her chatterbox keeps saying, if only I could do this, if only I can do that. So for example, if only the job market were a little bit better, she wouldn't have a problem. There would be more opportunities for her. But what was really keeping her at her job? What were the payoffs? What were keeping her stuck there? And basically the fear of rejection. When you go for other jobs, you fear rejection. I fear this a lot. I fear rejection a lot, and that's one of my things I'm working on to kind of get past. I worked with it with all my video stuff and I'm there, but there's still a lot of places where I feel scared about rejection. And so it keeps me stuck sometimes, but I'm not in that place to think about those things at the moment, so it's cool. But eventually I'm gonna have to work on stuff. Yeah, so basically she just felt like she didn't have the skills, she didn't feel like she was good enough, and she just made all those excuses and then ended up staying in the same position, even though she desperately wanted to leave and get out. Yeah, after she recognized what the payoffs were, she was able to break free. And so basically you have to understand what fears are holding you back, what things are making it, what are you just using to justify where you are right now whenever you want to get out of somewhere or you feel stuck somewhere. So I hope that makes sense. Yes. Number six. Determine what you want in life and act on it. Action. I know so many people who just talk. Even I do it sometimes. I do it sometimes in these videos, and I've been working so hard to just stop. Like before, I remember I used to say, oh, I'm gonna upload all of Vlogmas. I didn't. Oh, I'm gonna upload next week. I didn't. And I'm just like, oh my god. You have to just take actions. Just stop saying things. Stop saying you're gonna do things, saying this is what your life's gonna be like. Just figure out what it is that you want in your life. So whether it's traveling the world or becoming a chef, once you've figured out what you want to do, and sometimes you have to test the waters and do a bunch of things to kind of figure out what you want, but you're never going to get there unless you actually buckle down and think about what you want to do. And it took me a long time to figure out what I wanted to do. I felt like I knew as a kid, I knew as a child. Every single time I would mention it to someone, they talk me out of it, or it's not exactly them talking me out of it, but I allowed what they said to talk me out of it. I talked myself out of it, and so there you go, taking responsibility. I taught myself out a lot of things because I took advice from other people. Something that I used to get blamed for so much, and it kills me. It's like, someone asks for advice. You give them the advice. They take on the advice. They chose to take on the advice. It doesn't go well. Or it didn't go out the way that they planned or the way that they wanted it to. They turn around and now they resent you. They blame you for everything in your life, in their life going wrong, and how basically you ruined their life. And I'm just like, please, you chose to take the advice. You chose to take it. And that's something I had to learn as well. Like, obviously I said to you, my mum, I thought I wanted to be a photographer. I chose to take her advice. I didn't do it. And yeah, that's just something you have to figure out for yourself. You have to stop waiting for other people as well to tell you what you want to do in your life, because they don't know what you want to do in their life. They're just suggesting things. They're giving you advice. They may say it in a way where they're like, you want to do this, or like they're demanding or ordering you. But at the end of the day, you have the choice. You have the choice. And I know sometimes the choice could be either you have somewhere to live or you don't have somewhere to live. That's something that may deter you from doing something that you may want to do. However, you find ways around. You find ways to do something that you want to do so that you can do it. And if that means leaving and working a job to kind of make money to then move out and do your own thing, then that's what you do. And I know some people can't do that. For example, I can't do that. I'm struggling like to make money here, there and everywhere because of my condition with my leg and stuff. I can't work a normal job. I have to search for jobs and work from home. And sometimes when my good days, I can go out and stuff. But before I figured that out and I was like, I can do this, I can do that. I just sat there and I was just like, someone help me, someone tell me what to do. So yeah, you can wait around all your life for someone to give you advice or tell you what to do or tell you what you think you need to hear, or just figure it out for you. But at the end of the day, are you really going to be happy if someone else figures out what you want to do with your life? I don't think so. Yeah, take advice. Yeah, take suggestions. Try things out if you're lost and you don't have a clue what you want to do. But eventually you're going to have to figure it out for yourself. And you're going to, once you do, you go for it. You go for it. Yes. Just go grab it by the balls. That's probably such a bad saying actually nowadays, thinking about it. You don't grab the ball. Anyways, yeah. You just grab it and make it yours. Not obviously, you know, certain situations. Don't just take people or things like animals or beings. But you get what I mean. If there's a dream job you want in life, go for it. Just determine what you want and go for it. Number 7, being aware of your choices in life. Now, when you make a choice, sometimes it's fueled by emotion or something that happened in the past, or a problem you have, or an insecurity you have. Make sure when you make a choice, you're understanding why you made that choice, what is fueling that choice, whether it's actually pure love, or if it's insecurity, or if it's like something hateful, or just, I mean, at the end of the day, you can choose that if you want to, but you have to know the emotion behind it. You have to know why you're doing it. You can't just jump in and, I mean, you can, but at the end of the day, you're not going to understand why you're doing something and you're going to lose the drive for that thing. It's best to choose a path that contributes to your growth, mentally, physically, whatever it has to be. Let it be something that brings peace to you and how you feel for others. And that is how you reclaim the power. You got the power. You got the power. There's so many books, so much information out there for you to just come to terms with things that you don't get taught in school, you don't get told by your parent. No one tells you most things. sometimes you have to read a book to kind of get over stuff, or to progress, or to grow. This book, in combination with quite a few other books that I read, this is probably one of the last books I read in the series of books that I read, which really just changed my life. Like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I've never really been a fiction reader. I'm more like, I like TV shows. I'd like to watch the story rather than read it, even though reading's kind of fun too. Check it out by Susan Jeffers. Feel the fear and do it anyway. The phenomenal classic that has changed the lives of millions. Yes. Reclaim the power that you have within yourself. Change only happens within. Remember that. Remember that. Anyways, I just wanted to share those bits and share a book with you that is amazing, and I will put a link down below to the book on Amazon. If you like this kind of content, let me know down in the comments, give it a like, and I'll know that I'll do another one of these. I'll be like, yeah, let's go, let's give some more information to the people. If you want me to recommend or suggest some new books, I can do that too. I'm listening to books on Audible right now. If you want to use Audible, I got like this discount code. I'll put it down below for 3 months at half price. It works out cheaper than if you did 3 months with the 30-day trial. So there you go. Nice gift for you for watching my video all the way through. Anyways, that is it for today, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope that it was informative for you, and maybe you learned a little bit something new. But these are the things that morphed and molded me. Books and people in life. Oh, sorry, my brother's freaking running the bath now. Anyways, I will see you in the next one. Subscribe and hit the like button, and I watch some more videos. Love and light.